the hunt this week for monsters, pocket monsters, and museum exhibits. Joelle played Monster Hunter Wilds, Leah showcases Bones in 2 Point Museum, and we recap all the announcements from Pokémon Day. Plus, we played Cat's Easter egg hunt. All this and more in the GoGCast. So let's catch them all!
Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah. I'm the host of the show. This is episode number 485. And joining me around this digital table includes Catherine. Hi, Catherine.
Hello.
Joelle, what's up?
Hello.
Happy early / happy birthday / happy belated birthday because of the way we record this episode.
Thank you.
Recording before her birthday, publishing after her birthday.
Yes.
Yep.
I will be older.
You will be older. My goodness. Did you do anything fun this weekend to celebrate your birthday?
I went out to eat like 4 different times. So I will need to fast this next week because I ate really good food. I was able to get together with some people. I took today's Monday. I took today off work because I like extra long weekends like around my birthday. I've had like a good time. I have plans for tomorrow night, and then I also have plans with friends later on in the month. So like we're playing a long game with this one, and the birthday date is 38. I'll be turning 38. Woo! So yeah, we're rounding the bend on the 30s.
Come over to the dark side.
Oh,
40 plus.
Oh boy.
Yes, we have back pain.
I'm not ready. I have back pain already.
You're already ready to join us.
What else is going to happen? What else is going to fall? I'm like, what else is going to get dislodged and fall off? And,
don't speak that into existence, Joelle.
Sorry,
don't do it.
Everything stays exactly where it is.
Yes, everything is aligned. All is well. All right, let's get through some housekeeping before we do the crew check-in. If you enjoy the show, if you'd like to subscribe, we're available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like to get some GOG merch, you can do that by going to designbyhumans.com/shop/girlsongames. Maybe you'd like to give us a tip, maybe buy us a coffee. You can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. Ladies, Joelle, anything else exciting happened this week, past, outside of food, and more food?
Oh gosh, so much food. The new season of Survivor started, which
yes, it did.
Makes me so happy.
I know. I need to go back and watch it. I was saying we were trying to recount it earlier, and where I had taken Thursday off, I think I had a few drinks and maybe a little toke and forgot Survivor was on. So I've got to go back and watch it now.
Yes, you do. Let's see here. Other than that, no, things are kind of trucking along. So mostly just like birthday stuff, and I don't know. March sneaks up to me every single year.
Yeah,
like it's like January. I have like another 2 months until my birthday, and then like I feel like I blink, and then all of a sudden it's my birthday, and I'm like, oh, it's March already. I was like, wow.
February is so fast.
It is. Like January was 5 years, and then February was 1 day.
Yes.
And then now
here we
March,
are in March,
so, yeah.
Almost Q1 of 2025 done. The heck. Kat, what were you at this week?
I face planted, mostly but I feel like the weekend wasn't all that relaxing because I had so much shit to do, but I had the most 40-year-old woman thing ever. I needed new linens, like new bed sheets, because we do the thing where we don't have a spare, we just wash the same one every week.
Hello, join that club. What do you mean? In this economy, a spare set of sheets?
Exactly. What? And then 4 years down the line, at one point we were making the bed and you put the pillow in the pillowcase and it rips.
Yes. It's threadbare. It's been washed so much.
Yeah. So I actually woke up this morning with my hand through our sheet because it started to rip, and in my sleep I ripped it, and so I first thing I did with my coffee before logging into work was Googling like bed sheets, cat bed retail. And I opened the Linen Chest website, and they were like up to 40% off, and I was like, a sale on
just for you.
bed sheets. So anyway, I ended up ordering about $400 worth of stuff because we need new bed sheets, we need new pillowcases. So I got a bed sheet and pillowcase set. Our duvet cover also started to spring some holes because that one is even older than the set of sheets. And it's faded by the sun and everything. And I was like, fine, I'll get a duvet cover. And then I have a day bed behind me.
Yeah.
It's one of those IKEA beds that's like a single bed, but it can open up into a king size. I keep like a single bed fitted sheet on it. It also ripped because it was something I got for $10 at one point, probably off Amazon. Just like when I got the bed, so it's not like bare. So I had to get a sheet for that. So anyway, $400 later at Linen Chest, but like full price, it would have been almost $600. And I'm like,
yeah, there you go.
And
so
then
Dimitri has new bedclothes for his bed.
Yeah, it's his bed.
It's his bed.
It's actually unfortunate that we need the new bed sheets now because as he gets older, because of his arthritis, he can't fully retract his claws, especially in the back.
Oh.
So he's actually harder. He's actually making holes and everything. And I'm just like, I was hoping the bed sheets would outlast the cat. I'm sorry. I know it sounds very doom and gloom. The cat is 16 and a half.
Yeah, he's old man.
Yeah,
the cat is very old. The cat could. He's healthy. He's fine. But
yeah,
I don't think he's going to be around for another 5 years. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
Poor kidder.
It's fine. He's perfectly healthy. It's just like right now he's kind of like with his claws out. I was hoping that the dingy stuff would last a bit longer so that he doesn't snag in the new stuff, and maybe the new stuff will actually last. Because I think the reason he's also like putting holes into all my shit is too old.
Yeah,
so
well, like you said, it's threadbare.
Yeah.
It's been washed so many times that there's just nothing left to it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's like trying to pull on a pair of tights and put your finger through it.
Exactly. So I think I'm blaming the cat for these holes, but the reality is it's probably not. So very exciting. And then I put together my papers for tax season.
Yay! Death and taxes, getting older and taxes, the two things that are never going to leave us.
So my day today started with me ordering bed sheets and then putting together my tax papers, and then I sent all my tax papers to Pascal because he's the one that files our taxes. And then I put in our budget Excel the amount I spent on bed sheets where we track our shared expenses, and then I logged into work at like 9. And then I started working, and I was just like, that was the most adult thing I've done. I should have done that on Sunday, but because I was being a child and playing video games, I did that on Monday morning. I got really excited about 40% off 400 thread count bed
a
sheets.
deal is a deal. In this economy, a deal is a deal.
It's what we live for now.
And it was like all
and
and it was like on sale, and I was like, it's not going to be all the colors and like the queen size. Like, you know how they do it? Like, you know, it's like, 40%. And then you get into the thing, it's just certain sizes, certain colors. No. They were like, no, the entire collection is 40% off. And I'm like, I respect the fuck out of you for that.
My wallet respects you.
It's not sponsored, honestly. I had tabs open for like 2 or 3 different Canadians-owned store, local store that you can order from. And I think it was Linen Chest, Silk and Snow, and like Simon's.
Yeah, I was about to say, Girls on Games, brought to you by Linen Chest.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be mad at that. Like,
I wouldn't either. Silk and Snow either. I mean, geez.
Their stuff looked good. Honestly.
Yeah, my mom was talking about that a bunch when she was up over the holiday break. They're just down the road.
Yeah.
Like their office is down the road from here. Yeah. I'm in kind of like the like what do you call a different district? Like almost like there's all these like tile stores and furniture stores and all that kind of stuff, the lighting stores and things like that. Just like cross Dufferin. What would you call that area?
Like not consignment.
No,
like
not consignment. You know, like industrial district, like the that kind of thing. Yeah. So like all of that stuff is around here. So yeah, I drove by one day and I saw the sign and I was like, I know that brand. I've seen them on Instagram.
Yeah. They do like the mattress in a box that you can get in the mail, but apparently their actual linens are super good and last really well. But I got sidetracked by the sale at Linen Chest. So we'll see if this set of sheet after what happens after 3-4 years, and if I go to Silicon Snow after. But like for now, we're good. I'm just waiting for it to come in. I found I rummaged through our closet to find a backup set of bed sheets that is not ripped, but barely better than the old one. And I was just like, I was putting these pillowcases and I was like, yeah, another 5 washes and you're ripping.
Yeah, they become rags.
Oh, yeah, it's so bad. It's just, I never know what to do with discarded cloth. You
don't turn them into cleaning rags? That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can also donate sheets to animal shelters. They really like sheets.
Yeah,
really?
I guess.
Even if it's
cover
all
stuff.
Up?
Yep.
Well, yeah, because it's going to get ripped up anyway.
Yeah. They take used sheets and stuff just for bedding and stuffing and yeah.
Okay, I'll see because I put it in a garbage bag, but I'm I feel like that's wasteful. But I wouldn't donate it to a thrift store because it's unusable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not usable. No, but I mean it can be used in those cases, right, for the animals and stuff.
Okay, because it's so thin, I wouldn't even use it as a rag, to be honest. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look into maybe donating to see if shelters or something or upcyclers want that stuff instead of me throwing it in the garbage. Because I know cloth is an issue in terms of waste and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I'm telling you we're due, I'm telling you I had the arm through the bed sheet when I woke up this morning. I was like, yeah, that's a cry for help.
My bed sheet, not by choice. I had a fun weekend, considering it was birthday weekend. Like Joelle, I extended it. Well, Thursday is such a weird day to do anything. And then Mike works Fridays and Saturdays during the day. So we decided to go out on Saturday night. So we ended up going to a restaurant downtown. Mike had organized. It was really good. Food was fantastic. And then we were like, let's go out and party. And I'm like, okay, Mike, I don't want to leave. It's freaking cold out. We need a plan. And he's like, well, I need to go to the marijuana store, so let's go up there. So we went to walk up the street. As we were doing that, we're walking up Young Street, so we go into the marijuana store, and then we see this claw arcade. And last year for my birthday, we were in Montreal. We ended up in a claw arcade. Well, we ended up in one again, and Mike is a wizard at those.
Wow.
And we won a whole bunch of stuffies, and then I was able to exchange it in for a Mew stuffy, which is in the back here, as you guys probably see.
Yeah,
which was really fun.
Cute.
And was talking to the manager, and he said actually come middle of March, at that time, they were having a capybara celebration because all of the stuffies were capybaras. Aww. Super cute. So I was going around the whole store saying capybara, capybara. Anyways, he was like, yeah, mid-March we're switching to a Pokemon celebration. I'm like, I will be back. All the Pokemons.
You said the magic word.
You said the magic word. Conveniently, my birthday is on Pokemon Day. So yeah, that was really, really fun. Had a great day. And then yesterday we were going to go out and run a few errands, but we ended up not. And just stayed in and I played a lot of video games. So that was awesome. But I've been challenging myself to, I know we were talking about this off podcast earlier and how much I like to get organized. But one of the things that I like to organize is my video game kind of plan of my collection, my whatever, what am I playing, what's coming up, what's down the pipeline. Because considering we do this, staying on top of all the games that are coming out and releasing and whatever, I find that things creep up on me all the time, right? I have a few key dates in my head of when certain games are coming out through the course of the year. But then other times, all of a sudden, I'll be on Twitter. I'm like, holy shit, that's out already? So I've been trying to find an app that can help me manage that. I was using Notion for a while for it. I just found it wasn't native to it, and I had to do too much setup. So I've been poking around on the App Store, the iOS App Store, trying to find the perfect app that has widgets, can display what I'm playing, what's upcoming, all that kind of stuff. I don't really need like completionist stuff or anything like that, or trophies or any of that jazz. So I've been poking around, and I think I found one that I like. I've tried like 3 or 4 different ones now. It's called Game Track. So I tried that one. I also tried, let me pull it up on my GAME. I also tried, where's all the App Store stuff? Why is this not working? Oh, it was working earlier. Go figure. All right, where's all this stuff? I don't even know where it is. Anyways, Game Track is the one that came up the most. And it's great. Like, it has some really great functionality. You can search for games and all that kind of stuff and add them into it. You can add other games. You can put stuff in, like, wish list or, you know, currently playing, archived. You can categorize them. Like, they have stats and stuff, so you can categorize it about, like, what ecosystems you play in the most, the types of games that you play. Because that's the thing. I find that where we're playing so many things on so many different platforms. Like, you know, when the end of the year rolls around and you've got that stats thing that comes out, like the Xbox One, the place that kind of like the Spotify Rewind or whatever, or what do they call it? Wrapped.
Yeah.
It's never super accurate for me because we play too much stuff on so many different things. So I'm like, I want something to kind of give me a good overview of like what my year was. Because we'll go back and try and do our end of the year review of like what our favorite games are, and I'm like, I don't remember what I played yesterday, let alone January 12 months ago. So looking for something. This one's really good. My only thing right now that I am not a big fan of is how expensive it is to have the pro version, because I've looked at it, and like if you want the full plus model, you're either paying $4.99 a month, an annual $40, which is 33% off, or a one-time fee of $129.99.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
Like, I'm sure there's tons of like functionality stuff, and there are certain features that like I'm even trying to play with them to see if I like it, to see if I want to play the $4.99 a month or whatever to use it, and like it blocks you completely. So I might just do it to try it out and see what happens, and you know, kind of like take one for the team. But other ones that I've tried, let me see if I can get up in the App Store now of what I have recently downloaded. Because yeah, I don't know about you guys. How are you guys organizing like your catalog, your backlog, your whatever, what you're playing right now, what you got? Is it all in your brain, or do you have a notepad written somewhere? Like, what do you do?
I'm on Vibes.
You're on Vibes? Cat is on Vibes.
Cat's running on Vibes.
I am just like, at one point, I just kind of like, I have to play a game, and I'm like, I feel like playing this, and then I play it. I try to add stuff on my wanna play on Game Pass. Usually they churn before I get to it. So yeah, I have no plans. I have 100% Vibes, and then when we do the end of the year, game of the year stuff, I just open Steam and my Xbox, and I try to remember what I played. Or thank God for like the Xbox like year in review.
Yeah.
Even if it's like completely skewed towards NHL and MLB The Show because of my spouse. But yeah, I kind of rely on those things, or on remembering, or on looking through podcast episodes. There is no organization on my side. None whatsoever. And sometimes I open my like screenshot folder and see screenshots of a game, so I'm like, I played this game?
Oh my gosh.
So no, I am at the other end of the spectrum.
So toxic.
It's like, how do you track what you're playing? I don't.
Just pure chaos.
I don't.
I played that, did I? I don't remember it. There are certain games though that like I know I've played, but I don't remember a single thing about them. Just because there's only so much space in the brain.
Yeah.
How about you, Joelle? How do you track it? How do you know what's going on?
Good old Google Sheets.
Oh yeah, good for you.
Good old Google Sheets. Yeah, usually like I'll go through, and like when I finish a game is usually when I'll be like, okay, I finished this game, and I say like what platform it was on, what year it came out, what the developer was, And then like if I know about how many hours it took me, I also like to document that too. And then the year, because I just have it all on one like line.
Yeah.
And then so that's why at the end of the year I can be like, oh, these are how many games I played. And then I started doing a backlog, but I found that to be a little like tedious to do it in sheets, because a lot of times like cats are like, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to play this game, and once in a while I'll go into my wish list like on Steam, but a lot of times I kind of know what I want to play. Like there's enough out there where I'm like, I know I want to play this, and or it doesn't take me that long to find like a new game or something. So I so I don't do well with backlogs, because I usually then will just want to play it and I'll get to it. Uh, yeah. So I also categorize if I did not finish a game, which I did not finish. Because I used to hate not completing something, which makes sense for me. But I was like, I have to finish this, and I just have to suffer, even if I'm having the worst time with it. And then now I'm like, I'm 2 years away from 40. I ain't got time to finish things I don't like anymore. So
no time for that.
I'm like, nope. I've 100%. I almost maybe go too far the other way, maybe, because there's some things I'm like, I've been doing this for 5 minutes. I hate it. I'm not doing it anymore.
Oh, girl, I've done so many like that, and like that was the big complex in the beginning of starting Girls on Games. Is like we were reviewing something. I need to finish it. I need to finish. I need it. And then now I'm just like, I'm playing what I want when I want. And if you don't got me, or I hate your controls, or something's setting me off, goodbye. I was so excited about Cyberpunk. I dealt with all the problems. I said, fuck this, I'll wait. It's gone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Other apps that I played with, but didn't really love 100%, and it's kind of leading more to this more expensive one. Go figure, I want a more expensive one. Game Tracker, play and log is one. I tried also Gamery, a game tracker. Organize, discover, play. What I didn't like about that one is the discovery thing wasn't really working for me. But yeah, I mean, there's considering all the opportunities out there to keep track of like your catalogs and whatever else. There's a lot, not many. There's this one, I collect video games, tracker, which actually will scan. Like, if you're going through your games, it'll scan the barcode, the purchase code, and, like, throw it into your system, which is kind of neat. Obviously, I use mostly digital, so I didn't do that. But I do really like the Game Track one, I gotta say. So far, I really like it. I might put down the $5 and see what it's like for a month. I love the widgets. Because that's my other thing, too, is I'm trying to organize my iPad screen with all the fancy widgets. I love information dashboards and all that kind of stuff. I'm a nerd, guys. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm just curious.
I'm looking at the App Store. Well, on Google. Because, you know, there's Playlist Video Game Manager by IGN Entertainment, Inc. And that sounds...
That's IGN.
Yeah, that sounds like they're stealing your data to feed their website and their ads and shit.
Of course. Look how nice. I was testing out the widgets. Look how nice they look. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, that looks really good.
See, I'm like, what do all these things look like? See, that's it. I like seeing grids of pretty pictures and things to look at and get excited about games. And that's why I wanted the upcoming one. Because, like, I find that all of a sudden we've just got, like, a shit ton of games that are coming really, really quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the vibes are working for me, because if not, I don't get FOMO. Honestly, it's like if your game came out at the same time as Baldur's Gate 3, it's like tough titties. It's Baldur's Gate 3 season.
The vibe says Baldur's Gate 3.
I've waited like something like 20 years for Baldur's Gate 3. Once it lands, everybody get out of the fucking way. It's like, you know, what happened? It's just like, I just remember 2023, you know, like it was not Breath of the Wild. It was, God damn it.
2023?
It was The Legend of Zelda.
Breath of the Wild?
Not Breath of the Wild. The
Tears of the
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Tears of the
Thank
Kingdom.
you. It was Tears of the Kingdom for the first half of the year, and then it was
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 for the second half of the year, and everybody could go fuck themselves. So I have an epic backlog because of that year.
Well, and Persona 5, because weren't you playing that for 2.5 years?
That too. God damn that game. And like when I decided to go into my backlog, I dug into Persona 5. So I played like 3 games that year. Like
3 games.
But honestly, like it's working for me because I feel like I don't want to go back to like when we started Girls on Games and we wanted to like finish games and do everything. And now it's just like it's like realistically, I was going to play Avowed no matter what. I was probably not going to play on launch because I was like in the middle of playing something else. And then we got the advanced copy and I was like, yeah, I'll play this game. But like, it's like for me, I've put my priorities in the games I want to play and I want to try. And it's just like, I decide like I have 2 or 3 games per year that are my must play. Everything else is vibes. Maybe I play old shit like my Dragon Age brain rot. Maybe I play new shit. I like to have a little indie game on the side as a palate cleanser, like like Spirit Swap. But yeah, I'm sorry. I if I fall into the organization and following playlists and trying to watch or play everything, or it's just going to be a graveyard of shit I'm not playing because stuff like Avowed or Baldur's Gate 3 or Dragon Age came out. It's what's happened. It's like my lists and Netflix. I end up making lists of the person I think I am, but in reality, I'm not that bitch.
Wish list of people, a person.
Yeah, like smart shit, like documentaries or whatever, and I just end up like watching stuff like Conk on Earth and just being. By the way, Conk on Earth is actually amazing balls. Like it's
so funny.
S-tier television.
I don't know what that is, so I'm out of the loop.
Oh, Leah,
you have to watch it.
You'll love it.
I have no clue what it is.
Think about a haughty, like a haughty British, like a haughty British like documentary where they're like, I'm standing in the fields of this castle where in 18 something like some lord did whatever. Think that, but a complete parody, almost a la Tonight Show, like those
like an SNL skit or something like that.
No,
it's very dry, like a very like.
What's
dry...
it about?
She's a comedian, and she takes on popular like cultural topics, and she interviews. It's satire, but she interviews experts in the field, and she'll ask the most ridiculous questions in the most straightforward, like serious manner.
Okay.
So if you like, she'll talk about like ancient history, but she'll come at it from like a raunchy way, or like from like the violent way, or like from women like had no rights way, and she'll just I can't believe how these experts, these people that have their PhDs do not, how they agree to this, first of all, and like how they do not totally crack up.
So it's like Borat before when he used to go out and do the Ali G show and have honest to God conversations with people, or like Between Two Ferns.
Yeah, it's like Between Two Ferns.
It's like Between Two Ferns.
Yeah.
But as smart as the Daily Show thinks they are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But she's actually...
That's a dig at the Daily Show?
I mean, the Daily Show's pretty good, Kat.
No, I know, but she's got that formula of like the Daily Show of going to go see the experts, but her shit is way more out of pocket.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of it again?
Conk.
Spell it.
I C-U-N-K. I thought it was Sunk on Earth at first.
Yeah, she has
on life.
Yeah, so there's a movie and then there's a TV series, I think.
You want the TV series. I said the TV series.
The movie's great, by the way. Okay, so here's the thing. Pascal, I love this man, doesn't really laugh when we watch stuff, right? When he laughs out loud, it's like, okay. We have to pause this show so he can laugh.
Oh wow!
Because
Really?
he's laughing. He's so much, and sometimes
I'll
I don't
check
get
it
the
out.
joke because she was cracking a Nietzsche joke,
Okay.
and I had to stop the show and wait for him to stop laughing for him to explain to me the Nietzsche.
Okay.
It's really
but
good.
you know the audio on TikTok that went viral. It's like I'm standing in Jerusalem, except I'm not because that's in Iraq and fucking dangerous.
Oh no, I don't think I heard that one. Okay.
It's from that. She is so funny.
Okay, I'll check it out.
If you enjoy stuff like The Daily Show or like Allergy
Yeah.
or Between Two Ferns,
Yeah.
this is
You'll like this.
this
yeah.
is basically
Okay.
the culmination of all of that. This is an
Okay.
S tier show. Let's just say if you don't like it, it's not because the show is objectively bad. It's just it's not your type of humor. But
Okay.
everybody I've met that watched it found something funny. But
Okay, I'll
it's
check it out.
one of the very rare shows that Pascal just finds hilarious from beginning to end. And it's very rare on this
Okay.
God-given earth. He has a very, very specific sense of humor.
He does. That he does. All right, ladies, let's go real quick through the Fantasy Critic Leagues. Why? Because not much happened this week on the podcast front. One game released. Monster Hunter Wild. It was on my list. Critic of 89. That means I got 19 points. Yeah. Bits? None. Drops? None. Rank? Me in first, Cat in second, Joelle in third. It's really pivoting every week now at this point because everything's fresh and new. On the Community League, one game released. Monster Hunter Wild. Who had it? Albay. 89 critic. Points 19. The
His first pick.
I know, it was a good pick. Bids? None. Drops? None. The rank in the Fantasy Critic League for the podcast community is Pat, Albay, Stainsby Kingsby, Margot, Simon, Kat, Darth Stridius, Phoenix, and everybody else is falling behind because they don't have a game out. And that's where we are. It's that time of the year when all the moving and shaking is going to happen right after like a direct or something like that. Not,
Well, yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I mean, Nintendo's got that direct on April 2nd.
we're officially a month away.
That's so exciting. I'm trying
I
to
can't
think,
believe that.
I'm pretty sure it says it's offering a closer look at Nintendo Switch 2. So I don't know if they'll talk about games, but
They
anyway,
will
but
definitely talk about games. They're going to talk about what their launch lineup is, and I know we're going to be talking about Pokemon Day later on. The
Yeah,
reason why they specifically said on stuff the Switch family of systems is because they didn't want to say
Switch to
what it was going to be
2.
on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, what it was going to be on, because I have a feeling, I don't think Pokemon Legends AZ is coming to the old Switch. I don't think it'll run on the old Switch, on the OG Switch. Not Switch 2. I think Switch 2, it's going to be the lead console for it. That's my vibes.
It won't run on the first Switch?
I have a
Switch
feeling it won't, no. I think
Oh,
that's why
wow.
they've taken as long as they've taken.
one? Oh, okay. Anyway, so I'm thinking that as far as I know, it seems like the next direct is in a month
Yep.
for Nintendo.
And when they announced that, I was like, oh my god, that's so far away.
I know.
But like you said, Joelle, February goes by in a flash.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we're a month away now. That's really not that far. It's
Wild.
3 weeks, 4 weeks. All right, let's talk about the games everybody's playing. Catherine, Avowed. You mentioned it earlier. How's it going?
Roll credits.
Woo!
Got my ending and everything. It was amazing. And yeah, not gonna lie, at the end of the game, they're like, hey, decide the fate of this island and of the entity talking in your goddamn head. And I was just like, "Ugh." I actually scum saved because I made a decision. And then I was like, that doesn't feel right. And I went back. And I did
Good
all the
for
dialogue,
you.
and I changed, and then
Good
I was
job.
like, yes, I feel good about this.
If only we could do that in real life. Scum save.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Oh, that's so slightly depressing to think
power,
about.
Man, that's how you create variants.
That's right. Yeah.
That's how you end up with multiple timelines.
That's right.
That's how you end up with the multiverse.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Kang variants everywhere.
Wish the final battle was as epic and intense as in Dragon Age. It was not.
Why is it that end battles are not as good as they should be? I feel like this is an analysis we need to do at some point where we talk about all the end game battles that pissed us off because they weren't as good as the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm going to give something to Dragon Age, it was like, they were like, hey, this is the end. And it was fucking epic. And it took like 2-3 hours. And you had to like take a break and get a snack because it was a lot. This one was. Sure was. This game, I feel, ended a bit like the Jedi game, where I didn't even realize I was fighting this dude and he was the final boss.
Oh, yeah.
Something similar happened where I thought, like, I was going, like, I'm doing this sequence and I'm fighting this person and I'm like, okay, there's going to be, like, something bigger at the end. And they were like, an epilogue. So here's all the decision you make, so here's the ending you get. And I was like,
oh, okay.
This was very kind of anticlimactic. Was I too OP for this fight? Or, because I was like, okay, this feels like a big fight. And I like took, I don't know, I ate half the food in my backpack. I was like, give me this buff, give me this buff. And I was like, go. And yeah, it was like a fight with like, multiple stages and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, yeah. I should have clued in it was the final fight, but I didn't realize like this person was going to be the end boss. I felt like the end boss would have been a bit more, I don't know, grandiose. But I haven't played all of the Pillars of Eternity, so I don't know. I was just like, oh, I should have realized that was the end boss. A bit like when I was playing Jedi Survivor. I was like, oh, like I'm really having issues with this fight. Maybe I should have realized it was the end boss. As in for Dragon Age, at least, because it was a very hand-holdy game, they were like, you know how we told you the entire game you're going to go fight an old elven god? It's happening now.
Right now.
Save right now.
The whole screen is gonna let you know right now, and it's gonna ask you twice if you're sure, and it's gonna pre-tell you that this is the task before the end task. It it was really hard to miss. Hard to miss that one.
For Avowed, when you get to an area, they're like, "Hey, this is a point of no return." I was like, "Okay," but I didn't get that it was like the end of the game. I thought it was, but I guess I should have gotten it. I thought it was more like, oh, it's going to change the world state and maybe there's going to be more. But no, it was really like the end of the game. I think like Dragon Age did a better job of really, bringing stuff to a head and really making it dramatic. Oh, this game was good. Less dramatic. It was more about the choices. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, I finished the game. But even then, I was like, this is such a good game, such a good story. I feel like the choices they had you make weren't telegraphed as to what is, a perfect save or what is... You can figure out what's kind of evil, what's kind of not, but it's like there's a lot of gray morality. And even then, if you're like, I'm going to make the decision that makes everybody happy, if you consult with other NPCs, they will never be leaning towards one thing more than the other. Mm-hmm. You always have at least two NPCs on either side, or NPCs are ambivalent. Like, it's like really dealing with real life decision. It's just, what does everybody want? And it's like not the same thing.
You can't make everybody happy.
No, that's why they're like, we're differing to you because we can't make a decision for ourselves. And it's just like, ooh, okay. So that was pretty interesting. I think in the end, it made me feel more like my decisions mattered or had weight. I don't think they matter more in terms of like game mechanics compared to other games. Like, I don't get more dialogue options or, some of the, and even like, when I save, I tried a few other dialogue options, and you kind of end up going back to the same central dialogue tree. Like Dragon Age does the same thing. every game that has like dialogue tree. Eventually, you just go back to the central conversation. Those kind of don't matter as much. It's really about when you get into these actual decisions that affect the world state. But it's just the illusion of it all, right?
Yeah.
Avowed did a great job as creating that illusion of choice more than other games, even if it's not, in terms of mechanics, is the same as every other RPG. So it's also like a shorter game.
How long do you think it took you in the end?
About 30 hours, 30
Oh, not
40.
bad.
Wow.
Okay.
Under anything under 60 for me.
No, but for that type of game, anything under that, it's like 30 and below. Like, that's a fairly short game for that type of RPG.
Yeah, I would have to check because I'm really bad at that, but it's definitely not a 100-hour game for me.
Okay.
And I did a lot. I did a lot. I feel like it was probably around. And also, it's hard for me to use the timer like on my save as something that's accurate because I pause the game to get up and do something else often.
Yeah, I do that a lot
there's
too.
shuffle the laundry, go,
Yeah.
I hear the laundry's done, I get up suddenly, I remember my bladder, I'm suddenly hungry, I need a Stax, so I'm up for like 15 minutes, easy peasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like those times are bloated. But I want to say, like, if you're very completionist, you can finish it in under 100 hours.
That's cool.
It's
great.
not that big of a game compared to, like, everybody likes to compare it to Skyrim. I'm like, okay, well, it's not like Skyrim. It's 100 completely a different game, but it's Skyrim without the bloat.
Okay.
Oh.
So what's next?
I'm back on my Dragon Age brain rot.
Oh, so which game? Are you
I picked
Inquisition
up,
now?
Yeah, I picked up Inquisition again. I had that little moment of the GIF from Pulp Fiction of being like, where the fuck am I? Where was I doing? And everything.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Quest log. And I was like, oh yeah, I was picking between the mages and the Templars. So yeah, I played a bit yesterday. I did that. I picked, surprise, surprise, I picked the mages because I'm doing an all mage, free the mage supremacy run. I'm also gonna romance Cullen the Templar because I'm fucking with him until the very end. All 3 games, I'm fucking with this guy.
Hey, the girl.
Catherine.
If you know Dragon Age
him.
lore, you know.
Yep.
Fucking with him since Dragon Age Origins. So I was like, I think I'm gonna romance him in Inquisition to really like tie it all together. Put that little traumatic boy. It's like end it.
I'm glad this is a video game.
I'm glad you don't. Yeah, I was just thinking. I'm glad you don't own like ants or something. It's like
that's the fun part of making.
you gotta let it out somewhere.
Let it out.
Let it out.
So yeah, I'm finishing Inquisition, and then I'm either going straight into my second playthrough of Velgard, or I'm taking a break to play Eternal Strands.
Oh.
Eternal Strand came out. I know some of the people that worked on it.
Cool.
I'm gonna try it. It's on Game
Nice.
Pass.
Woo,
I installed it. It's on my Xbox home screen, so I don't forget it. Because again, I run on vibes.
Out of sight,
Vibes.
out of mind.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, this seems unvibey of you.
Yeah, the vibes are she wants to play it, she wants to remember it and not forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody else can. Fuck off. All of you would be like, oh, we're making games with guns. I'm like, cool story, bro. I want the swords.
No, I'm ready for the slicey, stabby game that's coming near the end of the month. Shadows.
Yes.
I'm ready. Joelle, what'd you play?
Oh, I locked and loaded Monster Hunter Wilds.
Ooh, that was breaking some Steam records and stuff this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Did that release on my birthday?
On the 28th, it was.
Close enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how's it been going? What do you think?
So great, and I will say, I'm really glad I got my updated graphics card and CPU and cooler and all that stuff done because it runs so well, and this game looks so good. it is really cool to see that they really poured a lot of like time into the graphics and the worlds and the sound. And with this Monster Hunter Wilds, I haven't played a lot of Monster Hunter games, so I'm not gonna pretend to be any sort of expert at all. But there's a lot of story in this one with like characters that you get to know that have through lines throughout the whole thing. There's a lot more. There seems like there's a lot more depth, like to this game, and there's a lot more dialogue. And I'm just gonna say, if you didn't like the dialogue in Veilguard, you will not like the dialogue in this game. It's like circa 2000s.
Oh boy.
It is. I don't know who was writing the dialogue, but the dialogue is not good. But the voice acting is pretty good, but the dialogue's weird. But other than that, like it is everything you'd want from a Monster Hunter game. The outfits are cool. The hair, I love that the hair in video games is herring. Like it is lush and flowy and bright, and it is wonderful. And the monsters, the way that they unveil the monsters to you as you go on these quests are really fun. And they're very creative in their attacks and their design. So it is super fun. I'm really, really excited. In this Monster Hunter Wilds, you also get a mount, and I think it's the first game where you are able to have a mount. And so that's been really, really smooth and cool. And you can also customize your mount after you get so far into the game, which is fun. And there's like 14 different weapons to choose from. So many options. It's a game that you can go really deep in and try to figure it all out, or you can just kind of roll through and pick your poison for your weapon and fight the monsters. But it's really good. They did a really good job with this iteration, and I'm sure it'll be a beloved release. I'm excited. I know there's like DLC content that is out already, and like there's obviously more like mods and things like that you can do, and it's
out already.
There's like some like DLC content.
Is it paid or is it
you
just
can pick up.
Game updates?
It's not just game updates. It's like there's some special. I think there's some dialogue. There's some not dialogue. There's customizations. There's some like extra customization. There's some extra outfits.
Okay.
So there's some paid content that you can grab.
Probably like you buy the extreme edition and you get all that extra stuff.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that. So the music is really good, really great music. I don't know. It is. They did a fantastic job. I think if you're interested in playing a Monster Hunter game, for me, I've kind of dabbled in a few of them. I would say so far this is my favorite one. The buttons though, and the way that you fight and do combat is really unique in my experience. So it's not going to be the same as like a PlayStation 5 game like God of War or like Horizon. You kind of know how you're going to interact in combat, and this game is totally different and really unique. So I'm constantly hitting all the wrong buttons because I'm like, I want to take my weapon out and it's a different button, and I want to shoot and that's a different button, and so I'm still like getting used to how that all works. So there's a lot of different actions that you can do. So just kind of stick with it for a little bit and you'll get the hang of it. But it is really fun. So I highly recommend picking it up. It's not cross-platform, which is too bad, but obviously there's co-op out for PS5, Xbox, and PC. So, but it's super fun. So my character looks like Edward Cullen's cousin.
Oh, does he sparkle?
I tried to make him as pasty and sparkly as I possibly could, and his hair is bright red, and the tips are white. He has long hair and a man bun, and then the tips of his hair is white. His eyes are red, and they're big, and he's creepy, but he's also hilarious. I'm just like, this guy is hilarious looking. But I was like, who should I model my character after? Edward Cullen. So I was just like, he stands out, that's for sure. Oh, it's pretty funny. Because, like, the cutscenes, they'll get, like, really close to his face. And, like, you can see, like, and I tried to make him as, like, young and smooth as possible. So he just looks so creepy amongst these, like, weather-worn, tan people. There's, like, this bright, pasty, red-headed,
allergic to sun.
Yeah, like demon-looking person. Just like, it's hilarious.
I'm a monster hunter. How long have you been a monster hunter? A while.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the skin of a killer. Literally.
Oh my god.
I had a lot of fun.
Games are great.
Aren't they?
That's fun.
I love
fun.
it. Such a great pastime. 2 Point Museum is set to come out tomorrow, as of this recording. But they had the, I think it's called like Explorers Edition or something like that. You bought that, you got access early. I didn't realize this until I think Sunday morning when I was poking through, like, what do I want to play right now? And then I was like, shit, $50! Hell yeah, I can play this now? That's all I did yesterday. Literally all I did.
Wow.
Didn't work out, didn't run errands, just sat down and played 2 Point Museum because I love these games.
Amazing.
Oh my god. So I'm really just scratching the surface at this point, even though I played most of the day yesterday. But the thing that you, like, don't think about when you're looking at a museum versus like a campus or a hospital, as the previous 2 other games were, is when you're trying to like shuffle the people visiting your museum through, you need to send them on like a path. So like you don't think about building rooms for people to go back and forth to and do different tasks. You're actually trying to get them in, through, see everything, and out. And it's a different kind of thought pattern of how to build your exhibits and all the different pieces that you need to do in there. Because there's still, like, some rooms you have to build because there's behind-the-scenes stuff. Like, you need a staff room, you need, like, a room to, like, research and train your characters and all that kind of stuff. So, like, there is still some rooms that you need a bathroom so people can go to the washroom, because it's really funny when the little characters really need to go to the bathroom. They have this little toilet paper icon over their head, and then they kind of, like, waddle, like they gotta use the washroom really bad, and it's fucking funny. The characters are too fucking funny. But the new mechanic in this game, because you have a museum, is you need to send your characters off on explorations to go and find new things to put in your museum.
Oh, wow.
And I played through 3 different levels to start, because the way they're kind of coaxing you through, and this is the vibe I'm getting after just playing for a few hours, but it looks like what they're making me do is play through a few different levels, learn a few pieces, and then I almost need to go back and, like, fix up the new one to make it to the next level, the first one I paid. So the first one is a traditional museum. You know, I've got, like, bones and fossils and things like that. The second one is spooky. And when you send your characters off, they're going to find, like, cursed objects or freaking, like, phantoms that you need to, like, build houses that you put these phantoms in that they don't see anything out of, but people can look in at them. It's really fucking weird with the ghosts.
Oh.
And then the third one is under the sea one. So, of course, it's, like, aquatic and everything. So now I've done those 3, made it to the first star as I'm learning all the mechanics and all of this, and now it's booting me back to the museum again, because it's like, you've learned all these things now, partake them in this, and fix your museum that's, you know, historical, you know, dinosaurs and fossils and stuff, and, like, bring it up to the next level. And, oh yeah, send your little dudes off and let them go on missions. And, like, when you do these missions, these exploratory missions to try and get things to put back into your museum, your characters can get, like, hurt and stuff if you don't equip them with, like, a med pack, or they don't have the right skills and stuff. So I had this one dude come back that I don't know what his ailment was, but his feet were all covered in muck and he was walking really slowly and leaving wet prints. And I had to go and set up like a medic area for him so he could go and get treated in the museum. And then the janitors had to come and clean up behind him. And then the comms in this game, like, it's like a radio playing, and then you're listening to a combo of like these fake radio voices, which is really funny because one of them is like the wolf, and like it just makes me think of like traditional radio and like how we make fun of it a little bit. And then but there's also like the PA person at the museum like saying things, and so my little character comes back after getting hurt, and the PA lady is like, yes, please go and get treated at the museum because we don't want to send our people to the hospital when they really need to go to the hospital. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Is it America?
Oh my god. I think it's a
the
little
museum
tongue-in-cheek.
says British, but the healthcare says America.
Says American.
Says
I mean,
America.
you'd be sending them to 2 Point Hospital at this point. But yeah,
Yeah, they're ramping for the sequel.
exactly.
Well, between the campus, the hospital, and the museum. Like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you're raking in the money here now.
Train
yeah,
the people.
train them.
They go to your university to work at your museum to get hurt to go to your hospital.
Hospital, and then the cycle viciously continues. So yeah, it's still a hell of a lot of fun, and of course I'm watching all the YouTubes on how to min-max everything. It begins my obsession. So yeah, there will be more 2 Point Museum chatter, I'm sure, over the next few weeks, until Assassin's Creed Shadows comes, which is right around the corner. Exciting times. Okay, game on. This is a video game podcast, so let's play a podcast game about video games this week. Catherine, I know the title of your game. I know the subject of your game. Did you do this intentionally because tomorrow is Shrove Tuesday?
No.
Okay. Because I was like, did she have Easter on the brain when you were thinking about this?
Maybe because March, April is usually Easter.
Yes. Yeah.
Easter, yeah.
But no, it's just I had a list of little games I should try because Steam is running out of funnies. And it's just getting sad and angry. So I need a new game.
I don't want to be depressed by reading Steam reviews. All right. So this game is called Cat's Easter Egg Hunt. I name an Easter egg. You guess what game it's from. Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So I'm going to name an Easter egg from a video game.
Okay.
And you have to tell me in which game it is, or maybe sometimes it's Inception. It's an Easter egg in a game about another game.
Oh, Lord.
But I will just honestly, it's loosey. We're all on vibes here. It's loosey goosey, but
This is the Vibes podcast.
Yeah, this is the Vibes podcast. At the very basis, I would like the game.
ASMR style. This is the Vibes podcast right here, right now. The Girls on Game show. You're right. Let's play Game On.
That was really good. I felt really relaxed when you were doing that. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, I'm at the very least looking for the game which contains the Easter egg. So I've got 6 of them. I think it's going to be pretty quick. The first one in this game, the Easter egg, is crafting an ocarina.
Oh, no.
Crafting an ocarina.
Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yes, the ocarina refers to Zelda. But it's
what game?
It's in
another game.
Another Nintendo game.
Animal Crossing, New Horizons.
Yes.
Oh, I see. I get it.
All right.
Okay, so the Easter egg is like probably like a different thing. Okay.
Yep. Well, in this case, it was an Inception because it was 2 Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So this one is a video game where a character can travel through dimensions. And she mentions that she went somewhere where people had metal in their heads, wage war from a distance using things similar to megascopes. And there were no hearses. Everybody had their own flying ship instead.
Metal in their heads, different dimensions, flying ships. Different dimensions. What game would have had characters going into different dimensions?
Somebody who can travel through space and time.
Space and time.
Special powers.
Who can travel through space and time, Joelle?
What was there? Oh, maybe this is a. Is this a big title or is this a smaller game?
This one is AAA. This one's about two AAA titles.
Ratchet and Clank.
That's what I first
space
thought.
and time.
Was it? What about Nocturnal? What was the shooter game where the hell bullet shooter game? Yeah, Eternal.
Super hot.
No, it's not. It's not Returnal.
Okay, well she does do
Control.
No.
Oh, that's a good guess.
But that is a good guess.
Space and time.
Space and
Ships.
time.
Metal in
the heads.
Who has metal in their head?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's the game. The base game is medieval fantasy, and she's referring to a sci-fi game.
Medieval fantasy.
It's not Split Fiction, is it? I mean,
It's out.
not even out
It's
yet.
out.
We haven't have that
We
yet.
haven't played that yet.
That's on the 6th. It's coming out in 3 days.
So close. Oh my god, I'm really stumped.
This is really...
I figured you guys would have that one on the brain. It's about Witcher's
cool.
3 Ciri, and she teases Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh,
wow.
I don't remember that.
I don't either. Huh.
Remember how we said earlier that I remember playing games and I know I played them, but I don't remember anything about them? Not true.
There's
I
a
remember
lot
that.
of
But
there's
the
a lot of
tail end-
content in the Witcher,
No, but the
to
tail
keep
end of
track
the
of.
Witcher, I don't remember a lot of it. So, all right, let's try
This
another
one I figured like you might know just because it was like in the ether of video games for so long. But my third one,
Yeah.
there is no cow level.
Yeah? Oh, StarCraft.
Close. Same studio, different game.
There's no cow level?
There is no cow level. And then they put in a cow level in the
But
following
you can
game.
type in StarCraft. There is no... Oh, and they put in the cow level.
I mean, it permeated to
StarCraft, Overwatch, what Blizzard games? Fucking Diablo?
Diablo. It is a Diablo.
Is it Diablo?
Oh.
There's
Yes.
a cow level?
Because they started a rumor that there was a cow level in the first Diablo. And then they were like, there is no cow level. And then at one point, the there is no cow level became a cheat, I think, in StarCraft.
It was a cheat in StarCraft, yeah.
Yeah, and then in Diablo 2, they did put a cow level.
That's
This
funny.
is like gaming history 101, Professor. Like
Yes, a bit.
learning so much.
2-point campus right here.
I mean, a lot of these I knew, and I just kind of like half Googled to find the references. So I'm hoping, but unfortunately, it's the kind of game where if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. I don't think
Well, I
it's
kind of
about,
knew that one.
I don't think it's about like getting them all right. I think it's just about discovering weird shit.
No, it's true. I'm just saying that like I thought I would be better at this.
All right.
What's the next one, Kat?
Overconfident.
Another historical one. My name is
Okay.
Chris Houlihan. This is my top secret room. Keep it between us, okay? My name is Chris Houlihan. This is my top secret room. Keep it between us, okay?
Room? Portal?
No. Older.
Older. Doom?
Is it
Ish. That's around that time.
is it Fallout?
Nope.
What's the other one? That's like Doom, but it's not.
It's on a console game.
But it's not Doom. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not
Another
gonna be
hint.
helpful.
It's The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. They held a contest in Nintendo Power in 1990, and if you won the contest, you would get a secret in the game. And there was a Chris Hooligan won, so there was a Chris Hooligan room, secret room.
Where is that in that game?
I would have to find back the article that explained it, but
okay.
Apparently you needed to have a special pair of boots and a flute, and you can like and you could find the room.
Wow.
In
Link to the Past.
In Link to the Past?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought I knew a lot of Link to the Past lore. I did not know that one. Yeah.
This one was
Pass fail. Wow.
Yeah. You can find it in. Let me see I have the fandom here. Yeah, it's a room that contains 45 blue rupees. Different methods can be used to access it, all of which use the Pegasus shoes, and some of which use bombs.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that's what this room was called.
Yeah, it's the room with the 45 rupees.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Got any more?
I got two last ones. So there's
let's do it.
This one is a Minecraft creeper in a cavern. You are playing a different game. You're not playing Minecraft. You walk into a cavern and there are Minecraft creepers.
Do they blow up?
I think so.
Are they actually pigs?
I think so.
It's a different game.
But
Not
it's
Minecraft.
It's not Minecraft.
Is it a Zelda game?
I feel like it has to be something affiliated with Microsoft.
I think they did it before they purchased Mojang.
Oh.
Because the studio is not... The studio that did this Easter egg is not affiliated with Microsoft at all.
Oh. Well, now. Is it a Nintendo studio?
Oh, wait. No, I'm lying. I think they got purchased recently.
Maybe they did.
Wait, maybe I'm lying. At this point, I forgot who Microsoft owns.
Microsoft owns a lot of them right now. Give us another hint to it, Kat.
The game is a looter shooter.
Destiny?
No, but that's a good guess.
Half-Life?
No.
Is that a looter shooter? No, I don't think so.
It's more like a puzzly game, is it not?
Yeah, I don't think it's a looter shooter. Never mind.
I don't know.
Would it be
Call of Duty? Sorry, Halo. You said Halo. I said Call of Duty.
No, those are not looter shooters.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Halo is. I don't know. Maybe I don't. What do I know? What about Call of Duty? Maybe they have. It's a game that is known for its cell shading.
Borderlands?
Borderlands 2.
Oh.
Their own Minecraft creepers and Borderlands 2.
Wow.
Oh, they must have blown up then.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Knowing Borderlands, they explode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was actually surprised to find that screenshot, and I think it was before Mojang was acquired by Microsoft. So it probably, like, when they were still independent, they were like, holy shit, we're in a Borderlands game. So, you know. And my final one, because we're going a bit long in this episode like we do every week. So we have a newspaper announcing scientists still struggling to understand deadly fungus.
Last of Us?
Yes. It's a Last of Us teaser in which game, though?
Oh. See, I'm not very...
No, Uncharted.
Yes. Uncharted 3.
Nice! Oh, very good.
So, fun fact, they thought The Last of Us would come out before Uncharted 4, so they teased it in Uncharted 3 with a newspaper on a table that says scientists still struggling to understand deadly fungus.
Wow.
That is cool.
It's kind of fun when they do that, when you find these things afterwards. Like, that's a lot of detail.
Yeah.
Good, but if Last of Us had never come to fruition, then it'd just been like, whatever, it's just some random text on a random newspaper in the game that nobody knows. Cool. Fun game, Kat.
That was fun.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners were yelling all the answers.
Oh, yeah. They know all the answers,
fine.
and they were you guys are being stupid.
We'll hear about it later. That's okay. That's okay.
All right. We've got Pokemon Day recap to talk about right after this break. And we're back, and it's probably going to be my favorite segment of all the podcast segments. We're talking about Pokemon Day, because there was a Pokemon Direct that happened on Thursday in the wee hours of the morning here. It was 9 o'clock. I actually woke up and watched it on my iPad in my bed. For those on the West Coast, it was really early. I think it was like 6 a.m. or something. But yeah, lots of fun stuff got announced. One thing that I was really excited about that I didn't expect to see anything about, that was like the first thing that they got out the door with, was there's more Pokemon Concierge episodes coming. Have you guys watched that show?
Oh, no. I haven't. I meant to,
You need to. They're not long and they're so cute.
I know. I need to do that.
Psyduck is adorbs. Like,
the whole thing is stop motion. The characters look fuzzy. You want to touch them. And yeah, it's been really cute. Like, I actually had Mike watching it. Yeah, it's just wholesome and cute, and I just want to live in a world with Pokemons. That's just why. Other things that were announced includes there's a new Pokemon Go tour, Unova, a global event that kicks off in March, which is right now. There is news for Pokemon Masters EX, which was really interesting. 2 new Master Sync pairs were revealed. May and Shiny Primal Kyogre and Brennan champion, and Shiny Primal Godron. That's the Pokemon. I'm terrible at pronouncing some of their names. There's also news of Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Sleep as well. They're now having Cresselia and Darkrai clash in an upcoming event, because you can play games while you sleep, because Pokemon sleep, as if we needed a break from video games, but now we can play them while we sleep.
Yeah.
One cool thing that was that was announced, brought to the table, was that the Pokemon series games are now going to be available in more languages. They are actually going to have a native Latin American Spanish version, especially in the new Pokemon games that are releasing in the very near future. So yeah, I think that's nice, because I can only imagine how awkward it might be to, play a game and that's not regionalized for you, with like grammar and weird, I guess folks are used to it, but like, it's just nice that they're putting those touches onto it. But the big, Pokemon trading card game stuff, they announced as well, because there's going to be, they had a sneak peek of some of the cards that are coming this year. Mega Evolution is part of that. They also showed off Triumphant Light, which is a new pack kit, I believe, booster theme pack that's coming to the Pokemon trading card game Pocket, which is the game that everybody has been playing online over the past little while. There are also still raids and big events happening in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. There's going to be a mystery gift password, so if you're still playing that game, there's going to be one that pops off. And also, too, all of the main the starters, their big evolution forms are going to be in Terra Raid battles. So that was obviously something that was kind of difficult to get your hands on if you played the game, and unless you were trading, that kind of stuff. And now you have the opportunity to get them now with the what they call the Mightiest Mark, which is a special thing for some of the Pokemon. So Mouscarada, Skeledredge, and Quavel. Man, the names, man, in Pokemon. I find that really challenging sometimes. But the cool stuff, the real cool stuff, the stuff that I was waiting for and wanted to hear. Pokemon Legends ZA. So, confirmed, 2025. It's coming out. They had a trailer. It showed off a bunch of different gameplay things, including Luminos City, and you kind of going around. It named the 3 kind of starters that you're doing with Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile, which is kind of neat. One of the really cool things that you got to see was how you were battling. and it was like 3D space. No longer are you standing in one spot in your character. Instead, like they were moving around each other, right? Mm-hmm. And I've been watching my normal YouTubers that I always do, but Austin John Plays was digging deep into some of this stuff because this was very convenient that they were showing off this, but at the same time, they also showed off a new game that they announced is in development called Pokémon Champions. Ooh. And what Austin John was theorizing is that this is now going to take the place, this Pokemon Champions game is now going to take the place of the competitive league that usually comes through with every different new iteration of Pokemon game. And it's going to be really interesting for the series because in his theory, this now will open up for the normal Pokemon games that you kind of get over the course of the years. That will alleviate them from having to build the battle mechanics of the leagues and stuff in those games, so they can really play with the mechanics and the different battle types and weird things that they're doing, and really like stretch their wings creatively for each iteration of a Pokemon game, and keep the competitive side of things kind of retained inside Pokemon Champions, so that they always have something that can be updated, of course, with new Pokemon releases and all that kind of stuff. But it's where it's tied to Pokemon Home and everything. Now they can really keep that on lock so that the competitive scene has a lock standard that's not holding the other games back. So really interesting concept to see this. Also, too, you were able to see Mega Evolutions in it. And also they announced that it's not just for Switch, it's actually cross-platform on mobile devices as well. So all they said, they showed off this really flashy trailer, showed that it was in progress, being built, all this kind of stuff, showed off a bunch of different Pokemons in this huge arena. So that's why and of course they were showing off some of the evolution and the Mega Evolutions and that kind of stuff during the event, but like huge space to work out of. So I think that this is really going to open that up. So there's definitely going to end up being like kind of the two sects within the Pokemon world. It's like the games that we play, the bi-yearly releases that we get that have more story, more like, the collect them all, play through, go to the gym battles, do all this stuff, do the fun things like we've seen Scarlet Violet and Arceus do, Legends Arceus do, and really like stretch their wings and say, how else can I do that? But still keep the core of the the competitive battle scene in Pokemon Champions. So, like, considering we haven't had a Pokemon game in the past year, like there was nothing that came out last year, and then but previous year we had two. We had Arceus and then Scarlet and Violet, like maybe 10 months apart. Yeah. It's kind of exciting that it's almost like they stepped away, thought real hard, and then came back and said, no, now we know where we're going. And this is why I think when they were announcing all of these, when they say the Nintendo family of systems, I really think Champions will probably work on all these different places, because it's just the graphics and everything that will change if you're on a mobile device, if you're on a Switch, if you're on a Switch 2. While Legends ZA, I feel like just because of the nature, like if you guys get a chance to go and watch some of the battle sequences and how they kind of feel more like what you would in like an action RPG, where they're moving around, and like depending on how close your Pokemon is and if they're in the right spot to be able to send an attack, and that how much that actually affects the other Pokemon. So those kind of mechanics and thought processes and design ethos and all that kind of stuff, I feel like that's more a Switch 2 thing, just because they need the power. Because we saw Scarlet and Violet, it was a great game, but totally held back by the power of that system. And even Legends Arceus, I feel like it started to scratch that itch for us, where we're like, oh, this could really go far. But it wasn't a super gorgeous game, right? Like, it wasn't super flashy or anything like that. I feel like they need the power of the Switch 2 to be able to do that. So I was excited. It wasn't a super long press conference. Like, I think maybe 30, 40 minutes max. Like, I didn't feel like it was that long, but they packed it full of stuff. But of course, what I was really curious about was the Legends ZA. And then I love watching everybody analyze everything afterwards, because I don't think it didn't dawn on me, the Pokemon Champions, of what it could mean for the competitive scene until I saw someone like Austin John really break it down. So, yeah.
So, Pokemon ZA is set in the city from Pokemon XY, isn't it? It looks like France.
I believe so. Luminos, yes, it's France. So my understanding is that the Pokemon Legends games go back into history, unlike Scarlet and Violet and everything else. That kind of happens like newer, but these ones always seem to revisit stuff, because kind of the concept of part of Lumio City is that like they're starting to engage with technology in order to make it so that Pokemon and humans can live together. And then Legends Arceus was very much like the Pokemon are out in the wild and you need to go and find them and catch them and help build it because you're researching for, because it felt like olden times, right? Like that kind of thing.
Okay, I get it. And that's why it's ZA, because it's XY, so they're moving forward in the alphabet. And because the starters are also like, we've seen them before. They're from Pokemon Black and White. Yeah.
So I think, I don't know if there'll be new Pokemon, if it's like, they showed off some stuff, but like, you really didn't see anything. Like, I didn't recognize any brand spanking new Pokemons when I was watching it. I was mostly seeing stuff that I've seen those Pokemon before, right? And there's going to be like these zones in the city that are almost like little walled gardens for like Pokemon to kind of run free. I kind of see that as being like some of the areas in Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, where it was like the wild areas. You can kind of go out and hunt and catch and whatever else, right? So, but in the middle of the city, in the middle of Paris.
Beautiful.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it looks like, honestly, jam-packed, like talking about a main game Pokemon, and then Pokemon Champions is actually, it's kind of a big deal. Like, unironically, like, just having finally a home for all Pokemon competition, regardless of platform. Holy shit. I'm trying to wrap my head around the infrastructure to run this thing, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the video of Austin John kind of breaking it down when he was talking about it and the capabilities, because like that's not the world that I'm in. Like, I play Pokemon games for the experience, the story, the collectathon nature, the cute creatures, that kind of thing, and that whole world, like, I just totally like I'm not there to like breed the best Pokemon to be able to use it in a battle to be able to win some other, you know what I mean? That's just not the scene I'm in. But there is that whole ecosystem, that whole world, that whole community of people who do that. And then there's like the competitions that go on and all the time. And I can see why making sure that stays standard and regulated could be a huge hindrance from a Pokemon game wanting to try something new, like Legends Arceus did, which I don't think there was any competitive side to that whatsoever. So they're like, it's almost like they're breaking it apart, but it's becoming better that way because it's dedicated use cases to serve the needs of each in each place. And then you have Pokemon Home to kind of like connect them all together so that you catch something in ZA or Scarlet and Violet or whatever comes next. You can then pop it over into and use it to battle in Champions because of Home.
Actually,
wow,
kind of insane.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, just the infrastructure of this whole thing is.
But you need like
magnanimous.
And here's
Pokemon money for this, right? You need Pokemon money, but you also need the Pokemon type of fandom to back it out. And you can tell like this was born out of necessity. It doesn't feel like a cash grab. It just feels like things are getting out of hand, and they like the notion is not good enough, Leah. They need an app with widgets.
It's the natural evolution.
Yeah, I mean they're haha. I mean they are pushing into a different way of interacting, and it almost seems like they are preparing for, multi-device, multi-environment, like interact with how you want. Do you want to do it like you're saying, like competitive? Do you want cards? Do you want games? Do you want mobile? Like how do you want to interact with this universe? Because there's a way that you're going to be able to do that that's going to appeal to almost anyone.
Yeah.
So
And
like they're trying to get everyone to be involved in Pokemon.
gotta catch them
And
all.
I think Pokemon Go was basically their use case to foray outside of just like the Nintendo proprietary consoles.
Yeah.
To find
Well,
other ways for people to engage with Pokemon.
Outside of, because I mean, they've had the cards for quite a while too.
Yes.
And
but,
like,
you know.
no,
digital, like digital.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that's of note too is that Pokemon Champions, they said, you know, it's in development, kind of let you know that it's happening. Next year's the 30th anniversary of Pokemon.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like a big year to kick all of this off. So I could even see that Legends ZA comes out. I'm going to say AZ forever, but ZA comes out, you know, this year, kind of like with a new Switch and all that kind of stuff. And I could see that happening. And then they're prepping everything to have Pokemon Champions come out and that be the big shabam for 30th anniversary. I can also see that they do something else, like another mainline game too, but like that Champions becomes the be all end all for the competitive scene, and that is the big thing. Because if you get a chance, go watch the little teaser trailer thing that they had put out. It's flashy because they like bring the way that the narrative of the trailer they brought you through is they had different people playing different Pokemon games in different iterations on different consoles. So like starting with the Game Boy and then having someone connect with the cable. Do you guys remember that link cable?
Yeah.
And then all the different modes that people have been playing over the years, playing Pokemon and different things. And then they kind of brought you into Pokemon Champions. So I think they're putting all their cards on the table for year 30 to kick it off.
Do you think there'll be new Pokemon?
Oh, there's always new Pokemon. They always keep adding to that Pokedex. There's like 1,000 and something Pokemon now.
Oh my
It's
god.
crazy.
Yeah.
Back in my day, there were 100.
151 with Mew.
I even forgot how many Pokemons there were when I played Pokemon Blue.
Oh my god.
Or Red. It was red and green. Was there blue or blue? I don't know. I forget.
It's red and green and yellow. Yeah, no, or was it red and blue? Because blue had. Oh my god, did they have Gyarados in the front? Now I don't remember. Because the reason why I'm getting confused is because the reason they talk about February 27th being Pokemon Day is that's the game that Red and Green released in Japan. It wasn't out in North America. And in North America, I don't think we got red and green. Yeah, and then yellow came later because that was one that had when Pikachu became a thing and then the cartoon and everything. They released a version that was that game, but it was like Pikachu on the cover, and you could have Pikachu as a starting Pokemon.
No, there was a blue.
There was a blue too.
It was red and green, and then in 1996 they had blue, and then they had yellow. And then they had red and blue, and then they had gold and silver, and then they had crystal, and then they had ruby and sapphire, and then it got. That's why it's so confusing.
Well, and then they have like all the remakes where it's like,
I forgot. I think I had green or blue. I don't know. My first starter was Squirtle. That's all I remember. I was like 13 years old. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, ladies, that pretty much wraps up the show for this week. As always, check out the show notes at girlsongames.ca for links to all of the stories, aka the Pokemon Direct, that we mentioned in this episode. As always, if you have the power to rate and review this podcast, we'd much appreciate if you could do that where you're consuming it. Why? It helps us with the discovery, pushes us up in the rankings, and any comments help us work on our show. This is the moment where I ask the girls to shout out their social media handles so you can follow them anywhere and everywhere online as well. Catherine, where can people find you?
I am CSDSBINS on. Right now, I'm kind of active on Blue Sky and Instagram, but you can always find me on the Discord, the Girls on Games Discord. That's where I'm the most active.
Sweet. Joelle, how about you?
People can find me on Instagram at JoelleLauren87, on Blue Sky at JoelleLauren, but always chatting it up in the Girls on Games Discord. Come and say hi.
And I am Leah Jew on most social media platforms, but of course you want to know everything there's to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at The Girls on Games on X and Facebook. Just Girls on Games, no the in there, on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. Blah, 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 blah. Discord.me/Girls on Games to continue this conversation and more. But of course, if you ever want to know anything at all, you can track it down at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. See y'all later. I'm off to play more 2 Point Museum. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.